Hey guys, today I want to do a short video on my new DS Action Diver by Certina. I've been looking for a dive watch under $1,000 for a few months now, and I came across the Certina brand a few times on the internet, and I just fell in love with it. I mean, aesthetically, quality, I think you really get your bang for your buck, and where it doesn't really have a market in the United States, um, I think there's a certain value attached to that. You're not paying for the marketing expenses that are attached to, like, say, the Tudors or the Omegas or bigger name watches like that. But it's just an absolutely beautiful Swiss-made, automatic watch that I think is going to be, might probably my go-to watch. As far as the dimensions go, the case diameter is 43 millimeters, which is a good size. The thickness of the watch measures in at about 13 millimeters, which is, in my opinion, pretty versatile because you can wear it underneath the dress shirt. So it's definitely good for a few different occasions. The one thing on this watch that's a little bit unusual is that lug to lug. It's got a fixed lug on each side. So the lug to lug distance is in the mid 50s. So it does play big on the wrist. If you have, at least a 7-inch wrist or bigger, I think this should be fine. And I'll put it on at the end. For reference, I have a 7.5-inch wrist. So I think it wears pretty well on my wrist. Plus, I do like a larger watch, but it definitely does have presence on your wrist. The watch is full to titanium. The case, the bracelet, the dial, the bezel, but there is an aluminum insert in there. And as far as the titanium watch goes, it's definitely not a featherweight. There is a little bit of heft to it. It came in at about 121 grams, definitely on the lighter side, and definitely lighter than the stainless steel version of this watch, which comes in at about 40% heavier. But I mean, all in all, for titanium, you definitely know it's there, but it doesn't weigh you down for the whole day, which is nice. In my opinion, it's a definitely a beautiful watch. The dial itself is, I think, compares and even surpasses, the Tissot's, the Mitos, the Oris's, and I would definitely put it up to like a Tudor. I really do think it's that nice. You can kind of take a look at that. You see that sunburst dial. This is the newer version, so you get that gray sunburst dial, which just plays really nicely. And like I said, you got the AR coating and the sapphire crystal, which make it really nice. Now this watch, this newer version of the watch, also comes with a Powermatic 80, which is a movement that boasts an 80-hour power reserve, which is pretty impressive in the automatic watch world. They do that by basically slowing down the beats per hour by about 20%. So you can see that little second hand moving. It might not be as smooth as something that's beating at like 28,000 beats per minute. I think this one's at 23,000 beats per minute. I'm sorry, per hour, excuse me. But I really can't tell the difference. And I do like the fact that there's less wear and tear on the gears and the spring, so hopefully it lasts a little bit longer. Now retail, this watch goes for about $950, and since it's not sold in the United States, I did have to go on the gray market. I bought this on Joma Shop and spent just about $700. Unfortunately, I had to wait about 2 months for it to arrive, but it was definitely worth the wait. I mean, looking forward to this watch, and it's surpassed my my expectations. So like I said, everything on this watch is titanium. See, there's different lengths. The bracelet itself is 21 millimeters in thickness, which I know is an unusual size, and it might be a little bit difficult to find a replacement watch or a lot of variations. But honestly, I love this bracelet so much that I wouldn't even think about changing it. You can see you got the dual release button there, and then you have this awesome little diver extension that doesn't fold out. It's a little different. So what you do is just ratchets out. So you can see that it just kind of pulls right out. Look at that. Yep, you got to push it to pull it out. So it pulls right out, and you got a nice extension, but it does push back in without. So you could actually make nice micro adjustments on your fit, and even like on a hot day where your arm might swell a little bit, it's good to be able to kind of move that back and forth. But yeah, definitely impressed with the band. The case back is a screw and case back, and you have that little Certina sea turtle logo on the back, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, but for the most part, I think this watch is pretty cool. Let me show you, see if I can do a loom shot. So I'm going to compare it to a Planet Ocean I have, and I'm just going to hit the lights and hit both watches so you can see the difference, okay? So I'll keep the Planet Ocean on the right-hand side, and I'll keep the Certina here on the left. So let me shut these lights off. Okay, let me just charge them up. Okay, here we go. So you can see how that compares to a Planet Ocean. So maybe not as, as bright as one of the Seikos, like the Turtles or the Sumos, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it. And I did test the loom. I don't want to waste the time on this video, but it does, it does stay on for well over 6-7 minutes. So that's pretty good. I mean, I'm not a watch expert, but I can't imagine myself using it that much more. So definitely happy with that. I'll just run that a little bit. Okay, let me get these lights back on. Okay, guys, so I'll just do a little visual of the watch. Oh, and another thing I wanted to mention, the bezel on this, all the videos that I saw online stated that I had a 60 click bezel, but I was pleasantly surprised that this actually has a 120 click bezel, and it's very little play in it, so it's nice and tight. So I don't know if that's a unique feature for the titanium version of this watch, but there is a 120 click bezel. And now let me just actually get it on so I can show it to you on my wrist. Okay. So there you go, guys. So, I mean, it's a good sized watch. It definitely has wrist presence. You can see the band. The band itself is nice and thin, so I do like that. So very impressed with this watch. I think it's a gorgeous watch. I love the full titanium and I love the gray dial. And that's basically it, guys. So this is the Certina DS Action Diver in titanium. And I hope this video helped somebody.